All right, Coach. You had your first two home games of the season, hosting Western Colorado and Adams State in the South Central Conference Challenge. Picked up two wins, one against really impressive win against Western Colorado, then a very tight race with Adams State going out to the wire pretty much. Just talk to me about your team's performance overall and being able to play back at home.
It's been a hard couple weeks for our team. That was our fifth game in 9 days when we played on Saturday against Adams State. And I thought you could tell when we got to that Saturday game. I thought we had some great looks in the first half against Adams. Just missed some wide open shots that we've been hitting up to that point of the season. But, it's so early in the year. It's kind of hard to play that many games and not have much rest. But I think it speaks to a lot of our depth right now of what you're seeing. We're playing 10, 11 guys each game. So I was really pleased with the help that we're getting from everybody. Friday's win against Western Colorado, in spurts we looked really well, and then in spurts we did not look very good. And I think that's just November basketball. I keep saying it's ugly in November, and that's just always the case because we don't have a lot of practice or games under our belt, to make the corrections that we need. So the fact that these guys are continuing to figure out how to make the plays to help us win has been a lot of fun so far. Everyone keeps talking about how many new guys we have and this and that. And, for us, it's not an excuse. There's a lot of people that took some L's over the weekend and they keep saying, well, we got a bunch of new guys and other teams have returners. We don't, and that's just the truth of it. For us, we're trying to play for one another. We're trying to play as a team. We're trying to play tough. We're trying to play gritty. And I think that's what you're seeing when you see the Rams play right now.
Overall, what's impressed you most about this team through 5 games so far? You're 5-0, so just tell me what's stood out to you most.
Just really the depth, how it can be any person on any given night right now for our team. We've had, I think, through 5 games, 7 different guys hit double figures for us so far this early portion of the season. It's been guys coming off the bench. It's been guys that started. We've used some different starting lineups now to help us out. And we've seen about every style of play you can see. We've seen pressing teams, we've seen zone, we've seen tough pressure man-to-man, we've seen a softer gap man-to-man. So in 5 games, we've seen a little bit of everything. And probably the thing besides the depth that stuck out is just the way that we're able to pay attention to the scout and lock into the things that we need to do to win that game. Because our defense has shown up for us almost every single game. I think 4 out of the 5 opponents we've held under 70 points right now. So that's been very impressive this early portion of the season. But, when you're playing against so many different styles and it just keeps changing every single night and you don't have a lot of time to prepare, it just says a lot about our guys and just being able to adjust in game, and being locked into things that we're supposed to be doing.
And you mentioned it is November, so it's still very early, obviously. But just what's been the biggest difference you've noticed so far with this team you've coached and other teams you've coached in the past?
We got an earlier start to the season, getting invited to that tip-off classic up in Billings. So we got to get to games a lot sooner. So I think that helps anyone. Some of these guys we've had since July. We had 11 here for the summer, and then, you start preseason, and you get sick of seeing the guy in front of you, and it's the same guy every single day, and guys get ready to play games. And so the fact that we got to start a little bit earlier with games, I think that helped us a lot. The fact that we've had just a flurry of games has helped us as well, because that's what these kids want to do. They want to play in games. Coaches love practice and players love games, and that's just the honest truth of it, at the end of the day. But, we've done a great job of preparation, of getting ready for those games, and our guys have done a great job executing the game plan. Is it perfect every night? No, because like you said, it's November. But we're not asking for our guys to be perfect right now. What we're asking for is just empty the tank, give us everything you got for the minutes that you play on that night.
Coach, you said in the previous press conference that the first couple practices with this team, it was almost like kind of awkward. No one really knew what to say to each other and whatnot. What have you seen over the past 5 games, how they've kind of meshed together? Are they growing as a team?
There's been a lot of growth, and I think starting on the road really helps because it's just you. There's not much distractions. It's you in a hotel and you in practice and you in games. And, when you go all the way up to Billings, we don't have a lot of fans up there either. So it's literally, it's just us. So it was us together for 6 days. And I thought that weekend really helped us become even closer as a group because you're just around each other all the time. We got to do some fun stuff together, when you're on the road as well. But, I just think these guys have done a great job of making that important. It's something we've been harping on for a long time that, it can't just be on the floor. It's got to be off the floor as well. We've done some things to try to help with that as well, kind of off the floor stuff with our guys. Our guys have gone out, supported other teams as well. We try to make our guys do that. And just see, Chuck's team for volleyball, co-conference champs for the LSC. I think that's important for our guys to see. We talk about it in recruiting is, everyone wins at Angelo State, and you're going to be around like-minded people and like-minded student athletes. And so when they're seeing other teams have that success as well, I think that's just as important for us to be there seeing that, on the backs of somebody else as well. So, it's been an incredible short journey so far. The work's not done. I know it's y'all's job to get excited about it right now, but for us, we've kept a 1-0 mentality. For us, thing I like as a coach, we've got 5 in-region wins already. So, we're up on the conference and in our region already. Having 5 in-region wins this early portion of the season is something that's really going to help us in March. And, one of the last messages I told our guys before we played our 5th game on Saturday was, you guys are living in the now, and I'm living in March. I'm trying to figure out the things we're doing now, are they going to help us make a run in March? And it's hard getting kids to understand that. I subbed one of our players out after he made a shot because he misexecuted a play. And our guys didn't understand why I subbed him out. But, we're telling them the day of that game, like, the whole reason behind that for us is we're going to need that play in March. We may be able to get away with taking a shortcut now in November, but if we want to be as successful, we want to be in March, then we got to be able to execute it at a high level. And it's hard getting kids to have scope because they just want to live in the moment. And I want them to enjoy the moment because winning is fun, there's no doubt about it, but I also want them to have some scope and see, hey, the things we're doing now, we're hoping that it causes us to get wins in January, February, and March.
You also just already talked about you had several guys in double figures already. Who are some of the guys that really stood out to you? Just so the people who come here might not know this team yet. Shout some guys out for the fans.
It's been fun because it's been so many new guys. Ja'Kai Murray, our interior player, has been very good this portion of the season. I think he leads us in scoring right now. He's more of a traditional forward at times, scoring with his back to the basket, and you just don't see a lot of that anymore. But he's been really fun. Jaquez Kirby, 6'7" senior we have at the 4, a high flyer, leading our team in rebounds. Probably leads our team in dives on the floors, I'll tell you that, because he just plays with a reckless abandonment at times as far as in regards to his body. I mean, if there is a ball, he is getting his hands on it. He's a lot of fun to watch as far as energy. Kaylon Nichols has come off the bench and been just an unbelievable spark plug for us. Played 30 minutes for us off the bench on Saturday. He's 6-foot combo, but he's got a 41-inch vertical. He's just electric off the bench for us and has given us a big-time boost. Zion Little transferred in from Texas A&M Kingsville. I thought he was the catalyst of energy for us on Saturday. I did think fatigue was catching up to us on Saturday, playing that 5th game in 9 days. And Zion Little gets in there and just Superman dives for a loose ball right off the bat. And, when you got guys just making plays like that, and I can name a ton of them, and that's the thing that I've loved about this team so early is they're sacrificing for each other, when they're diving on the floor and making some of those plays that they're making. It makes it a lot of fun to watch, not just as a coach, but as a fan as well. I've had some really nice comments from our own coaches and administrators, just how hard our kids play. And, that is a testament to them, but also a testament to our program because we demand our guys to give us every bit of effort level that they got, and empty the tank, like I said earlier from a previous question, because to me, if we're giving that kind of effort this early in the year, when we actually figure out what's going on with some of the other technical stuff, we could be a lot of fun to watch.
Coach, let's talk about Saturday with Adams State. Obviously, you mentioned playing 5 games in 9 days, playing a wide variety of different defenses, where you had Western Colorado the day before, really kind of relying on the one hot hand, to all of a sudden play Adams State, who made entire 5-man subs and had full court pressure on y'all. Talk to me about the adjustments that you had to make as a staff and to the team between those 2 matchups alone.
Really not a big adjustment, and I don't want to sound, cliche at all, but we work on our press break every single day. I mean, we got 6 or 7 teams on our schedule that we know are going to press us this year, in our conference, out of our conference. We'll go to Vegas and play West Liberty, who's, the coach that's at Nova Southeastern was at West Liberty. He's kind of the original one that has started this trend and fad right now of all the pressing that's going on in Division II, and we'll play them again in Vegas. We played them 2 years ago in Daytona Beach and beat them 101-98. out there in a wild one. And so press break, we work on it every day. And so when we got to the Adams game, we're talking about prep. I just said, guys, here's the awesome thing about today. We just got to do what we do every single day. And I thought we executed our press break really well. We only had 3 turnovers at halftime. And for us, seeing that for the first time, and you're telling me we're going to go in the locker room with just 3 turnovers, 13 new guys on the roster, never seen a press before. It's impressive, but it's also a testament to the work that we've put in of preparing these guys to get ready for those moments. Our coaching staff does an incredible job. Connor Moore, Cole Rabideau, Jake and Daughters, and all the way down to our managers with Riley Soto and Seth Sanford. For us, it's a team effort for us. If you look out in the gym, there's guys getting shots up every single day. There's guys in the offices watching individual film every single day. We pour a lot into this, as do our players, and it's for those kind of moments. It's so we're ready when we see those kind of things.
Fantastic. And it'll be, actually, now I'm looking at all this, quite a while until we see you again, dude, just how your schedule kind of lines up. So let's talk about some of these matchups you have coming up. Obviously, tonight you play Tarleton State in an exhibition over in Stephenville. And then you play 2 conference opponents that are non-conference games with Sul Ross State and Texas A&M International on Thursday and next Monday, respectively. And then you have your Thanksgiving Classic over at WT playing against Fort Lewis and Justice College. Obviously, I know those later games I mentioned, you're not really worried about them right now because you got to focus on the now. But talk to me about those games this week and just kind of what do you see from those opponents that you'll be taking on?
Well, the first one's Tarleton tonight. It's a special game. For me personally, I coached at WT for 9 years, and my head coach that I worked for, Rick Cooper, and Lon Reisman was the head coach at Tarleton. They were the 2 longest tenured coaches in the league, and Chris Reisman was the assistant at Tarleton. I was the assistant at WT, and we were the longest tenured assistants in the league. And it was a fierce rivalry, whether it was recruiting, whether it was playing games, and but there was a lot of respect between the 2 programs as well. And so for me, it's just awesome getting to go play them again. There's a lot of history there, as far as getting to play them and things like that. I was joking with some commentators that called for an interview last night. I was in Wisdom Gym when the Purple Poo are calling for the spirit of Oscar P. And, a lot of people don't know that. A lot of Tarleton people know that, but we've been playing those guys for so long that I know little things like that as well. So it's a fun chance for our kids to get to play in a Division I exhibition game. It doesn't have the same luster that it once did because, right now our top 6 kids that we're playing were all on Division I rosters before they were here. I'm excited because our guys are excited and they have a chip on their shoulder. They're walking into the game feeling like they should win the game, and why can't we? And for us, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. They got a brand new arena that they're opening up, and they've played 3 or 4 games in there already. But it's a really, really neat game for us to get to play in. It's going to give us some great experience. It's an exhibition game for us, so it doesn't count. So we'll get to play a lot of kids as well, which will be really good. And then after that, it's at Sul Ross in Alpine on Thursday in a non-conference game, like you said. And that's the one that I've kind of been focused on more than anything, just because it's our next countable game. It's an in-region opponent for us. It's an in-conference opponent at a later date for us as well. But it's our first true road game, because we haven't played on somebody else's floor yet. I'm glad we're getting to play Tarleton tonight because it's going to give us our first true road game in a practice setting, essentially, be an exhibition. But I'm anxious to see how we play on Thursday against Sul Ross because that will be our first true road game. And it's going to be a tough opponent for us, because anytime you go on the road, anything can happen. But I do know playing some neutral games in Montana has helped. We did all our scrimmages on the road. Everything we did before we played at home was on the road. So I'm hoping we've done the things necessary to get us ready for kind of a long road slate before we play at home again.
Awesome. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, guys.